I thought it would be interesting in today's video to talk a little bit more about what goes on off camera. So some of the behind the scenes, well, it's weird, isn't it? I think that my photography videos on location, I feel like they are behind the scenes videos of my photography shoots. So to say that you're going to see behind the scenes of what is essentially a behind the scenes video, so you're going to see a behind the scenes of a behind the scenes. I hope that makes sense. But I want to use last week's video as an example. I was out shooting with Nathan, and we brought I brought the slider along. I do enjoy using the slider. It adds those beautifully dynamic shots when you're out in the field, and it just gives it that extra little bit of image production quality, or makes everything look more cinematic. But I thought I'd just shed some light on the amount of effort that goes into some of these videos. Because people often say, some of the comments, the light was beautiful, you only got one image, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but you weren't there. So you don't know. So I spend a lot of time making the videos as well as shooting. And the thing is with these YouTube videos is it really hones my craft, because if I find a composition that I want to shoot, that image, it's a little bit like shooting film. That photograph can take a lot of time to produce, because for every image I shoot, I have to build in all of this video around the image. So, B-roll, slider shots, I've got to get the drone, I don't have to, but get the drone out and get some nice aerial footage and really try and paint a picture of the scene around me and articulate why I'm shooting that image. And then of course, there's the piece to camera, and all of that can take, up to half an hour per image. So it takes a long time. Give you an example, when me and Nathan did a slider shot of us walking away after I'd taken the photograph and Nathan had finally come down from wherever he'd been. We did each shot twice, because the first time Nathan walked off in the complete wrong direction. Oh, where are you going? Sorry, I should have been, we're going to go that way. Do it again. And then the second time we got it right. And then another scene where we're walking down the hill. I think Nathan slipped or tripped up a little bit. He wasn't happy. He didn't want that in the video. And I've just realised now I'm showing it in the video. So sorry, Nathan. I hope you're okay with this. So it takes a long time, and you have to set this up. You see, this is quite heavy, and this is the tripod head that I use on my little video tripod. So when I want to use the slider, I've got to take the head off the tripod, put this on the tripod, and then put this back on. And then the worst thing in the world when you're doing a sliding shot, or when doing anything, this happens occasionally with drones and with phones and with technology in general, but it seems to happen a few times with this slider, and it happened when I was shooting with Brendan a couple of months ago. But I haven't used this for like 6 weeks, and I got it out in the field, spent ages setting up this slider shot in the beautiful woodland. The light was gorgeous, I was ready to start shooting some images, turn the slider on, and what do I get? Firmware update required. And there's no way of bypassing it.
The reality of being a landscape photographer is sometimes you stand in the woods and update firmware. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's Edelkrone. Why Edelkrone? A message to Edelkrone. Please put an escape route on your firmware update app, because right now I need to get the shot and not update the firmware. All it does is slide left to right. What kind of firmware update do you need? I mean, come on, it worked perfectly fine 4 weeks ago. Yeah, it's going in the bin when I get home.
So you can see from that footage how frustrating it was to have to wait for about 15 or 20 minutes for the firmware to update. And it drove me crazy, because why? It just slides from A to B, and I don't understand. So yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. Another thing from the last video that you might have noticed is that I was a bit absent when I was taking this photograph. So if you see the footage before, I'm kind of looking around and I'm talking to the camera, but I'm looking over here. and then I talk back to you, and then I'm a bit, and I'm not really, And that's because what you don't see on the camera is that those conditions were so nice, and I did try and articulate this, but I couldn't find a composition, so I spent a lot of time rushing around, not shooting much B-roll. But when I finally found that composition and set up my tripod and everything, there was quite a lot of distractions. So just behind me, when I was talking to the camera, off camera, there was a building site. Like, I think someone was like building a house. Something was being built, maybe a new road was being laid or something, so you can just hear all of this road noise and this building noise, and I'm very aware of this, and it's really distracting. And then a couple of dog walkers come down the footpath, and the thing with me is when I'm talking to the camera and if somebody walks close to me or somebody surprises me by coming around the corner or over the top of a hill, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. Oh my god, I just throw the camera down, pretend I'm not doing anything. But when my camera's on a tripod and I'm all set up and the light's fading, the mist is fading, I've spent ages looking for this shot, I'm trying to finish the piece of the camera, and I can see these dog walkers getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm thinking, come on, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, and it's just very distracting. So yeah, that's I thought that was quite funny. I wanted to share that with you, and as well as that, in this very same photograph, I didn't realise this whilst on location, but looking back when editing the video, I think I missed a composition. So, two things with this photograph. One is that I wanted to show you guys on the right hand side, I actually edited out a small tree, a bit of a bush, because I found it to be very distracting. And it's a simple, very, very simple Photoshop job of select, content aware fill, and then just tidy it up a little bit. But I think, it doesn't alter the scene too much, and so long as I'm fairly open and honest about this, I think it makes for a better image. So I'm happy to do that and remove those distractions. But yeah, as I said before, I feel like I missed the composition because I was editing my video and I noticed this scene, this bit of B-roll here. And I'm looking at this B-roll and I'm thinking, why on earth didn't I flip to a vertical composition and include either the top of the mountain and the sky with the fog and then the trees and just a bit of the reflection, or not even the sky, just a bit of colour from the distant fells and then the mist and then the tree. And I think it's because I was so distracted and so rushing in that moment. I was thinking about filming the video, I was thinking about people around me, I was thinking about the noise coming from the building site, and I just wanted to get the shot in the can and be like, oh, okay. I feel like when I've got that first image and when I relax a bit, then I feel like I become a better photographer, I start to get a bit more creative and see things more clearly. So yeah, these videos, they're not always easy, and I thought I would just enlighten you and share that information with you. And if you are a YouTube video logger or whatever you call yourself, video creator, then you'll totally get where I'm coming from. All the stuff that happens behind the scenes is it's interesting. And I think I'm probably in the future going to share more of the stuff that you don't see. Let me think, next week's video. Oh god, I haven't even checked the footage yet, but next week's video, yeah, this happens. So yeah, lots to look forward to, lots to see in the coming videos. But let me tell you now, making these videos, it's a difficult, demanding job, and it takes a lot of skill and presence of mind and determination, and I hope that comes across and I hope you understand it. So that's this week's video. Oh, I forgot to do my own promotion. Still got a few of these calendars available. I've sold a lot, but there are a few. The reason I'm plugging this is if you're in the States or Australia or far away from the UK, basically if you're not in Europe and you want one of these for Christmas or the New Year, it might be worth ordering sooner rather than later, because Royal Mail have been shockingly bad, and what should be 1 to 2 days UK delivery has turned into 5 to 6 days. What should be 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 days in the EU has turned into a week, and US should be 5 to 7 days, and these are taking like over 2 weeks to arrive in the States. So because of Royal Mail's incompetence, maybe consider ordering one now. Just a thought. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and do tune in next week as I drop and break my camera. We go camping in a tent, not in the van, and I shoot a beautiful autumnal image. And then maybe we'll edit it as well. So until then, bye for now.